You know, when you look at a glass of water, it seems, well, simple, right? Just clear, plain water. But what if I told you that beneath that surface, there's a whole hidden world, a complex story written in a language we can't even see?
So what is that story? What secrets are hiding in there? We're talking about its purity, what it's made of, its overall health, all locked away in every single drop. And that's the mystery we're going to crack today.
And to solve any good mystery, you need a detective. So let me introduce you to our guy for the job, the RD Pets 01. It's this awesome 5-in-1 water quality sensor, basically built to read that invisible language and tell us exactly what's going on.
All right, so what makes this little detective so good at what it does? Let's dive in and see how this thing packs such a powerful punch.
Okay, first thing you notice, its size. I mean, this is not some huge, clunky piece of lab gear. It's super integrated, really compact, and you can install it pretty much anywhere, even in small pipes. And that, right there, is a massive advantage when you're dealing with tricky setups.
But seriously, don't let that small size fool you. This thing is an absolute tank. It's packed with tough, industrial-grade features. We're talking high stability, so you get accurate, repeatable measurements every time. It's got an IP68 waterproof rating, which means it can handle some seriously tough environments. Plus, it's super reliable and built to last. It's a small device for sure, but it's made for the big leagues.
So, how does our little detective actually gather its clues? Well, it uses what you could call 5 distinct senses, or parameters technically, to build the complete profile of the water it's checking out.
And just look at this. This shows the sensor head. It's so cleverly designed. It integrates 5 different probes into one single unit. Why is that cool? Because it means it can measure 5 different things all at once, from the exact same spot. You get this incredibly complete picture of the water quality in one go.
Okay, first up in its investigation is pH. You probably heard of this, right? It's basically a measure of acidity or alkalinity. And why does that matter? Well, think about it. If the pH is off, plants can't get the nutrients they need, fish can't survive. It's like a fundamental clue to the water's overall health.
Next, our detective looks at EC, or electrical conductivity. You can kind of think of this as a background check. See, pure water is a terrible conductor of electricity. It's all the dissolved salts and minerals in it that let a current pass through. So a high EC reading? That's a huge clue that there's a lot of, well, stuff dissolved in that water. And closely related to EC is something called TDS, or total dissolved solids. Now, while EC gives us a hint about the dissolved salts, TDS gives us the whole picture. It measures the total amount of everything dissolved in there. We're talking minerals, salts, you name it. It's like the full inventory list for that water sample. The sensor also zeroes in on salinity, which is just a direct measurement of the salt concentration. And this isn't just for checking ocean water. For things like hydroponic farming, or even in big industrial cooling towers, getting the salinity just right is absolutely critical. It's a matter of success, and sometimes safety. And finally, the 5th sense is temperature. Now this might sound kind of basic, but temperature is the master variable. It affects literally everything else. It changes chemical reactions, it determines how much oxygen water can hold, and it can even throw off the other 4 measurements if you don't account for it. That's why this sensor has automatic temperature compensation built right in. It's super smart.
Okay, so we have this detective with its 5 amazing senses. Where do we actually put it to work? Let's check out some of the cases it solves in the real world.
And the list is huge, really. You'll find it in high-tech farming and greenhouses, making sure crops get the exact nutrients they need. Then you've got it on the front lines in urban sewage plants, monitoring the treatment process. And of course, it's a vital tool in science labs, in heavy industries like chemical plants, and for keeping an eye on our environment.
But look, gathering clues is only half the battle, right? A good detective has to file a report, a clear, fast report. So how does the sensor actually get the data out of the water and onto a screen where you can see it?
It's a really slick 4-step journey. First, the probes do their thing and take the measurements. Then, the sensor instantly converts those physical readings into a digital signal. From there, it sends that signal out using a standard industrial protocol. Think of it as a universal language that lets it talk directly to data collectors and computers.
And that digital info gets beamed out, often wirelessly using things like Wi-Fi or other networks, straight to a central system. And what does that mean for you? It means a farmer or a factory manager or a scientist can see exactly what's going on in their water live, as it happens, on a screen, from pretty much anywhere in the world. How cool is that?
So, we've seen our detective on the job. What's the big takeaway?
what does all this tech really mean for us?
At the end of the day, what this technology does is pretty profound. It makes the invisible visible. It gives us the power to truly understand and manage our planet's most vital resource, water, with a kind of precision and speed that was just science fiction not too long ago. It's all about turning that hidden data into knowledge we can actually use.
And that leaves us with a really important question to think about. Now that we have these tools, now that we can literally act as detectives for our water and watch its health in real time, how is that going to